Welcome to Still Talking Uncut. I'm your host, Big Easy. It's the fifth season. It's our final season. Number 5. Who would have thought we made it to season number 5? It might be the final season. I guess you got to tune in and find out. But hey, we started back in 2021, man. It's hard to believe we're still here 5 years later. I figured, so what is it? We're about 150 shows. Sean showed up for about 50 of them. We appreciate you, Sean.
Give him a lot of credit.
I like to round up. Uh, anyways, welcome back, man. Join tonight, Uncle Joey, Matt Lemasters, and special guest tonight. We got Ohio guys, local distillery within a couple hours. Ohio Shine Co. out of Mansfield, Ohio. If you don't know about Mansfield, it's where the Ohio State Reformatory is. If you've never been there, where they did a bunch of Shawshank redemption shots and a bunch of the movie, you got to go check it out, man. It's super cool. And if you're claustrophobic and you won't get all in the tight spaces, you can drop your family off and go down the road, man. You're all right. So I get it. Anyways, welcome to the show, man. Scott and Jeff, man, from Ohio Shine Co. We appreciate y'all giving us your Monday night and joining us. Your place is beautiful, man, and welcome.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Yeah, Thanks for stopping by.
So we always start off with what you're drinking on, Uncle Joey. I know what you're drinking on, so go on ahead and show what you're drinking on.
Well, I'm double dipping tonight, man. I got some delicious butterscotch that they make up there. Man, me and Sean went up, and this was the first jar. I said, yep, I'm getting a jar of that. And then I'm a big corn liquor guy, so many people have heard me talk on the podcast. There's not a lot of good legal corn liquors out there, and you guys do a damn good job as well. So kudos to you. You're putting a nice jar of corn liquor on the show.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
The biggest differences I see in corn liquors from distillery to distillery, the good ones are usually come from pot stills.
Yes.
And and the ones that I usually don't like are over distilled and column stills, and so and the small distilleries, man, you see a lot more of them just doing simple old traditional pot styles, and that's what you guys are running down at Ohio Shine Co, man. Just a pot thumper worm,
That's it. That's it. Keep it simple, traditional, all copper. Let it run and get those oils in there, get all that flavor. A good simple recipe, and that's all it takes.
It's what's been used before plates and all that was there. All they had was stills, man. All they had was stills.
How big a still you running?
30 gallons right now. You can see it kind of in the corner right there. Yeah, so that's a North Georgia still. We got that one here right after we opened up. Had it on order early on, and we're waiting for that thing to come in, man. And we're running the crap out of it right now. So it's a great rig. It does a great job.
So let's kind of start back from the beginning. How long have you two known each other?
It's been 35 plus years.
Yeah.
It goes back to high school. We graduated together.
Oh yeah. So did you guys ever think back then, Ohio, you know what I mean? Like, did you guys think maybe you guys wanted to do a business together? Was this something later on in life you guys were like, hey, this is something maybe we can do?
Yeah, no, this was something that really was born probably about 4 years ago now. After we got some time distilling in and really started I guess getting some feedback and we were doing it right. And, that's when kind of looked at each other and we're like, hey, a phone call from Tennessee when I was down there. I think that's where we kind of like, hey, I think we got something, let's see if let's like kick the tires and see if we can move this down the road a little bit and make something of it.
Yeah. Yeah. It definitely wasn't in my mind back then. I think either of us, my dad always had his own business, but it wasn't something I really thought about, and certainly not in this space. It's Jeff's fault, but honestly, it's something I think he's had the inkling to do for a while. And, man, we just, yeah, we kind of, we lost touch for a while and reconnected, and said it was kind of an idea of his, and he came to me with it, and I was drinking enough on the couch that night that I thought, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Let's buy a still and see if we can do it.
Oops.
Well, let's be honest. It's kind of an interesting idea opening a moonshine, distillery when bourbon was 4 years ago. That was when the bourbon, everybody was opening the bourbon distilleries. So to take a gamble on the moonshine. So how far back had you discovered moonshine to where it was something that you enjoyed drinking?
Yeah, this is going back, between 10 and 15 years ago. The exact time, I forget. I mean,
right.
Family, from time my kids were young, and now they're adults, but from the time they were young, we started traveling down to Tennessee and hitting spots in between all the way down there. And we spent a lot of time in the Gatlinburg area, and we watched that whole industry blow up, really. And that's where I really started catching some interest in it and really getting the vibe of what it was about, and the people that were involved with it. And so as I kept seeing newer distilleries pop up, and they were real small, and they were making it, and they were bringing something maybe just slightly different. I thought, what, that's honestly, that's really something I want to do. Ultimately down the road at some point, and finally just took the plunge.
And it's kind of crazy. Down the road, you find out probably, and disappointed in the ones you find out that actually weren't making their own stuff. And myself, I tend to gravitate to the stuff I like, or the distilleries that they actually make their own stuff.
Yeah,
and they use the traditional column, the pot still.
Mm-hmm.
So when you first got into making what got you into making moonshine? Like how did you go about it? Did you just buy a cheap little still? Was it something that you had learned from a family member? Tradition? Or
we did. Oh man, we drove. I tell you what, we took the plunge right in. I don't think either of us had any direct experience doing it. I mean, I came to find out recently that some family members may have had a still at one time, but I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
And it was something we thought. Yeah, I thought his idea was great, and it wasn't something being done certainly in this area at the time. So we did a lot of scouring, and we jumped right in with a 10-gallon still from North Georgia right from the start. So it was, like I said, not a big still, but not a cheap one either by any means.
North Georgia don't sell nothing cheap, but they last a lifetime.
They're
the Cadillacs of stills,
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to go about it the best way. I mean, we figured if we're going to do this, let's do it right. It was a great reputation. Those guys have been just unbelievable to work with, and we wanted to give ourselves, I guess, the best chance at success right from the start. And man, it's like you said, it's just Jeff touched on it earlier, and we wanted to keep it pretty simple. That all copper pot still distillation with a simple traditional recipe, and not overthink it, not overproduce it, not do it. We wanted to do it the way it's been done, and just I guess pay taxes on it. So
sure, why not?
Didn't want to pay taxes on it, but wanted to.
No.
We definitely don't love that part, but it's in order.
But we're going to do it just to pay the piper, I suppose, if you want to call it that. So
it's funny. You guys had a post not that long ago, and somebody tried, like they always do, they want to hammer you. Well, you pay taxes. That ain't well. Thank you for we appreciate your come try it. I like how you handled that post. I knew you're always going to get that and it's just something you're going to have to endure, unfortunately.
Yeah, I knew, anytime you get publicity like that, the local news or whatever, you can almost predict the comments you're going to get. And we sure did, not in the volume that I expected we might, which was a fantastic surprise. But you'll get that, and especially with us, you certainly get a handful of, well, it's not moonshine once you're paying taxes on it kind of stuff. I'm like, I
Right.
get it. I'm like, listen, I don't want to, but like we said, we think we make a damn good product and want to get it in people's hands, and that's this is the way to do it. So
if you can, you do. Like any one of us, if we had the opportunity and the ability to open a
heartbeat.
distillery, we trust me, there'd be a shelf of jars, and paying taxes and not giving a shit, like I don't care about none of that. Like, everybody's got an opinion, have your opinion, Hell, I get told I don't look like a moonshiner all the time. They bust my balls in group pictures like one doesn't look like the others. And it's like, yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Roll it still out here. Let's get it, sons.
Oh, we got to get easy in some bibs.
There you go.
that's
Hey,
what
I'll tell you what, neither one of us look like moonshiners in our day job. I mean, we're steel salesmen. So we're dressed up and we're out, calling on commercial customers and, trying to sell a little bit of steel. And then we're coming out here after work and doing work here at the distillery, trying to make things happen, doing it the right way.
I believe that the term moonshiner has been so commercialized and generalized that, what I'm saying, everybody has an opinion about it. And it's like, look, man, we're all just small batch craft distillers.
That's it.
We're not running 700 gallon stills and making 70. We're making 4 to 5 gallons a run of quality choice product. We're just craft small batch distillers who happen to make moonshine. It all starts at, it's got to be moonshine. It's got to be clear distillate. It all comes out moonshine, whether it's post flavored, bourbon. It does not matter. It all comes out the same.
Yep, exactly.
That's the thing. When you say moonshine, I mean, that's people know what it is.
Yes.
It's like, I get it. It's by the moonshine's an unregulated alcohol. I mean, I get the people that want to go there, but it's, people know what we're making. That's what.
Okay,
you're not doing anything different than them guys did in the hollers and the hills by the creeks and streams. So exactly what you're making is moonshine.
We just have a few less bugs and a few less leaves.
Yep, and a few more taxes.
Yeah, I mean, and it tastes just like what anybody else is going to run. I've had this out of somebody's garage, but you know what I mean. Like I've made stuff that tastes similar to this, so it's like. And that's why I appreciate what you do. We have a buddy, Chris Lewis, Pabst Hilltop. He runs the same style rig, man. His liquor tastes amazing because
I talked about that with him. It's something about the pot still, man. It's just it's traditional. It's the pot still. It keeps your flavor, double it up, gives it that nice little cleanliness to it, and just everything about it. So
Well, and you start catching enough of the enough of that flavor on the back end of it, get some of those oils and stuff coming through there, and really starting to amp up some of that flavor, and it's not just neutral. And there's a craft to finding out when's the right time to stop that. When do you stop collecting your hearts?
And everybody's different. Like
exactly.
Where you said you stop at, Sean pointed out that's more of a choice cut, because you where you make your cuts. Whereas like with me and Sean, we're down around 90 to 100. I want those oils. I want all that low oils to put into it, and so you're like, it's different aspects and different techniques. But at the end of the day, we're putting out the best jar we can with our style. So your style's amazing. Why change it? My style's different, but ain't no way I'm going to be like, well, you got to do it like this because you're just ruining it. It's like, nah, man, what are you doing with all the other shits? What I want to know, like, what are you doing with what's left? Like, that's
right.
Yeah, we found it. You mentioned that, and we found that evolve over time. I look back on the first handful of runs that we did, in a undisclosed location, and we were
on video. We were Phil's driveway on video.
But man, we were collecting hearts and putting it in the man, it was 70, 80 proof, and I look at it now where we that's well into our tails.
Right?
Well into the tails.
We drank many a tails in the beginning. Shit, we was flavoring with Jolly Ranchers. We didn't know.
Right.
There wasn't anybody to be like, hey man, you should stop here and do this. And there wasn't these YouTube channels and these guys you could just be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. It was like, well, it don't taste great. Put some sugar in it.
Right. Yeah. No, it really is. It's a lot of trial and error, and like you said, it's where do you want your flavor profile to be, and for us now the hard part is how do we do that consistently, you know.
Yes.
So we do batch together a few runs together just to get enough so we have a decent bottling run. And so we do pay, very close attention to when we're making those cuts. And, I try to pay attention one only to the proof, but not only that, but the smell of it and the feel of it.
And that's more important than anything,
It is. And I know it's like, it might be 130 one time, might be 120 the next time. It just kind of depends on where she starts and how it ends up. So, but at the end of the day, we're batching together probably about 3 runs and just enough to get a good bottling together. So,
even in Mr. Tater.
Well, it's definitely a solid jar of liquor, and was it a hard process to get this recipe to where this is what you were putting out? Did you try a bunch of different corns? I mean, how did you decide on the corn that you're using for this? How did you get to that?
Yeah, we tried a number of different corns from various locations, and ultimately, we settled on this one because of the cleanliness and the consistency, not only of the product that's in the bag. What's not in the bag is a bunch of garbage, but the consistency of the crack and everything like that. So, we feel that we can recreate. That's one less thing we have to worry about when we're doing the cook. We kind of know what to expect of it every single time. But I think, gosh, Scott, we probably went through 5 or 6 different varieties before we got to where we landed on this one.
Yeah, probably. Maybe not quite that much. Close. I mean, we started. We've always wanted to be local. We've always wanted to, definitely source from Ohio, and at least as far as the corn is concerned, I mean, we went to a local mill and trade place, and we tried their local homegrown stuff, and it was it was good, but like Jeff said, it was a little it wasn't as consistent, and it had a little too much extra stuff in there, from the stalks and things like that just we'd have to clean out and scoop out and whatnot. So yeah, we finally kind of sourcing through the same folks, but a different Ohio produced corn that we finally landed on. Like you said, is just is very, very consistent, gives us the flavor that we want. And we did play with some of the profile a little bit. We started playing around with just a touch of malted grain here and there to for the enzymes and just a touch of flavor. But it's very heavily corn based, and yeah, a little bit of trial and error, but man, probably not as much as I thought we were going to have, to be honest with you. I think the positive reviews started pretty quick, which may have been our downfall. I don't know.
Yeah,
good or bad. I mean, we got a lot of positive response, and that really pushed us in this direction. So
yeah, I will say this: I think we do put some cane sugar in the mash just to boost the ABV. But I will say that we started with a much higher, that's sweeten it too, but we started with a much higher ratio of sugar initially, but we did back that off, way off. So it is certainly more grain, heavy in grain than it is sugar.
And I'm sure once you back that sugar down, your firiness and your heat on your end product lower, your corn takes over, Yep. And natural is greater than any sugar, unless you're dealing with honey. We won't talk about that though. We can't afford to go there.
And you say that, and you're right. Your jar does have a good grainy. You get it, the nice grain flavor to
it. Grain, baby.
Yeah. Grain and grain. Yeah.
That's what it's all about, man. You guys were talking about your corns, like. The more you divulge into this and you get deeper into trying different types of grains, you start to understand, like, man, it's kind of like stills. Each still has its certain use. Well, each grain has a certain place, like your red corns make great aging grains, great agents, especially Jimmy Red. You know, speaking of Jimmy Red, the Jimmy Red master in the house, Mr. Daniel Stevens. Welcome to the show,
Mr. Red.
Mr. Red. So, but you know, once you decide on what you love, man, and you perfect that, and especially when it's a product you're trying to repeat. It's one that it's on your shelf. You have to repeat that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so it makes sense to get into it. Sean's backstage. Apparently, he's controlling everything.
You can tell Sean's got control.
I make him jealous.
Yeah.
I got his beer.
He ain't had a push light apple in 6 months, so
He ain't allowed. Skinny boy.
So when you was running a rye, right? You know, you allowed to talk about your rye.
Yeah, we can talk about
Yeah.
that. Yeah. So first and foremost, let's give a shout out to Rustic Brew Farm.
Yeah. Matt Cunningham.
And
Yep.
Matt Cunningham. Yep, absolutely. So we get all of our malted products from them. It does a great job. Has great product. Very responsive. Good friend. And makes a darn good liquor too.
Yes, he does.
Yes. We have a bottle of his under the counter we sip from time to time as the day's going on. So really excited about his single malts coming out. Hopefully sooner than later, but I know he's on a journey there locally to try and get a tasting room open. So
Yes, he is.
Yeah. So the malted rye. I think this is going to be something exciting that I don't think we've seen this in Ohio yet. Not at least what we're doing. It is aside from a little bit of barley, it is pretty much malted rye, and that is what's in that. There again, a little bit of cane in there on the backside, not much, but it is a very similar recipe in terms of the ratios as the corn. But what you're going to find is you're going to get that rye flavor. But with it being malted, it doesn't kick you in the face with that spice. But it's going to bring a really nice rye flavor. We get a touch of sweetness out of it as well too. And personally, I think it's our favorite, and we're excited to have it come out.
So when is that? Any idea when that's on the horizon?
Scott, you want to tell them?
August 1st.
There you go.
Three new watch the Facebook page. We will be announcing we're in the very early planning stages of putting together a pretty big flavor release party. We'll have 3 new flavors on August 1st, Saturday, August 1st. We'll have two flavors in our malted rye.
I think that's awesome. That's because you've been talking about the 2. I like your little game on your guess the flavors. I like that. You have a lot of good guesses on that.
Yeah, and some people, I will say, some people have guessed one of the flavors right. No one's gotten the other one right. No one's guessed the blue one yet. So as soon as that hits the state listing site, it's they've already told us August 1st. As soon as it hits their database or whatever, we'll throw the full reveal out there. But yeah, look for that August 1st. We'll have 3 new products coming out.
So you mentioned the state. Let's talk about
Hold on,
process.
Uncle Joey.
Was that a very long deal?
Hold on, Uncle Joey. Hold on. So August 1st. And I know you totally missing the plug, man. So August 1st, they're going to have a 3 flavor jar release, and we're going to make the trip up there. And it's not that far from us; it's a couple hours. And so anybody just north of Columbus area in Ohio, it's Mansfield. If you're going to be in the area, I think Steel Valley, you want to come down. We're just going to hang out, man. Try some liquors and shoot the shit and have a good time. So
we're easy to find. We're right at the crossroads of 71 and 30. It's easy to get to. We're not far off a couple minutes off of each of those. So
go see the reformatory. If you come in for it, go see the reformatory first, man. You'll be glad you did.
It is an easy trip. Right off the road. Once we got off, it was a very easy find.
Yeah, it's easy, like you say. There's some cool stuff to do in town. It's one of the reasons we love being here. Mansfield and Richland County are are very big tourist destinations, you know, with a couple of racetracks and with the prison and a number of other things. And yeah, like you said, I mean, not only the prison, but man, if you're a fan of the Shawshank movie, there's movie sites all through town. You know, I finally had my daughter watch it for the first time not too long ago, and I think it blew her mind seeing things that she recognized around town in the movie. But yeah, man, would love to have people down. We're excited. It's going to be a cool event.
Yeah, we'll all be there, do pictures, and you know, we'll talk about it a little more before we go. It's a good time, you know. August 1st. It's you know, we don't have any. There's no events around that time, not till the end of August, when we get into the 10-man and all that, and it's after the Hillbilly Jam, which is the end of July, and a lot of us aren't going down for that. So it's cool to have something else to do up this way.
Yeah.
Right.
So I said we will definitely be there. You know, food trucks and liquor, man. What more can you ask for?
Hey, and it's my birthday too.
Well, sure. You didn't tell us that. You got to double it up. All right, Jeff's birthday party.
That's secondary and everything.
August 1st.
We want to get the liquor out and get it to the
free jar release. It's gonna be a good time, man. Come in and
mine's July 29th. We're doing a shot.
There we go.
You finally get to use that golden Buckeye card, don't you?
Don't be hating.
Well, now if you got like,
you know,
I just need to know that way I could be like, he's paying. He's paying. Even if you ain't paying, just slide it over. You know, like, Mr. Judd, how you doing, brother? How you doing, Mr. Judd?
What's happening, Judd? Hope to see you. We're going to see Judd here in August.
He'll be at the 10-man.
Judd will be the 10-man. So back to my question: was it a struggle dealing with the state, or how did that work? Because we got a fellow.
How long did it take you from concept to open door?
Why not? Let me ask you: is the state listening? No.
Probably. You know, probably. That's why we only keep it legal now. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead, Scott. You can say what you want.
You know what? I'll say this. And I don't know that it really is even a secret to a lot of the folks with the state. I mean, the federal process.
We talk about it all the time. So say your piece.
I will say this: the federal process was smooth. You know, we hooked up with, you know, who I think and you know, other people have corroborated. I mean, he might be one of the best guys out there on the federal side. From an attorney standpoint, he's down in Cincinnati and just smooth as could be. You know, worth every penny on that respect. The state of Ohio is difficult. You know, and I think. Well, I'll say this.
That's
a good word. Yeah, that was.
You know what we found was funny is, you know, we go talk to our attorney. We would talk to people with the state, man, and I don't know if we're just constant overthinkers or what it is, but man, we were asking questions that they literally didn't know that, you know, we heard, I mean, Jeff, we heard the comment, no one's ever asked me that. Mm-hmm. How many times? Yeah. You know, which was kind of unbelievable. And there, I will say for anyone, you know, looking to do something like this in Ohio, man, feel free to reach out to other distilleries, because there's stuff that the state won't tell you, can't tell you, until you get to a certain point in the process, till you're already licensed and you're already well on your way. I mean, there were questions that we had and we knew we had that would have been very instrumental in building our business plan, that they just won't tell you until you get to a certain point. And then, so I think part of our challenge, you know, towards the end, I mean, you know, all the state steps really were kind of the big, that I don't want to say the delay, but that's what really kept pushing things back. And it was like, just when you kind of think you're at the finish line, you learn something new, you know, which again, I think the biggest thing for me was just, this is all information that I think we knew we needed. And we just, you know, we were finding everything out so late. There's no real good communication for someone starting up.
I would imagine that you probably get people who have the job title of something that does not know everything that they need to know, so they can't tell you everything. And so, and somebody else comes in, they tell you something different. It's kind of like calling AT&T, man. One person tells you one thing, another person tells you another, and by the end of it, you've talked to 8 people and you know nothing.
Well,
except what
you know, it was even right up, man. It was the Friday before our Friday before our soft opening. We still had questions on even just some of the basic, you know, what's the process for doing samples? What's the, you know, all the stuff. And I actually ended up getting a call. You know, we reached out to 2 or 3 reps that we were in contact with. And I finally got a phone call from someone a little higher up and just apologizing profusely. She's like, I've seen the emails. There's no reason you should have this many different answers to this question. You know, we recognize that there's inconsistencies within the group, within the department, within the state, you know, within the agency. It's, you know, she's like, we know it's something we need to work on, you know, but you know, it's slow going. I mean, Ohio is really, you know, now that distilleries are up into the triple digits, you know, legally in Ohio now, I think they're finally realizing we've got to update a little bit. I mean, I think Ohio's always going to be a pretty controlled state, but I think they recognize there's, you know, 80, 90-year-old laws that should be updated a little bit.
Are you guys part of the Ohio's Distillers Guild?
Yes.
We are at the moment, yeah.
So I was talking to Chris Lewis. You know, it's really frustrating. You know, our buddy John Benz is a great dude, man. He deserves for that distillery to be open. He deserves that town. That town deserves to have that distillery open. And I was kind of just talking with Chris Lewis about it, and he was saying it's something that the Distillers Guild is actually kind of pushing against the state. They're actually saying, like, look, why are you guys doing this to these distilleries? These distilleries are in turn making you guys profit.
Yeah.
Why are you guys holding them up? So
that's big tax money they're losing on.
I hope the Distillers Guild can help push the fight to get the state to do better, man.
Those small distilleries aren't making more money than the big distilleries are lining their pockets with, because they can't compete with that. That's the problem. And I mean, that's the problem on everything nowadays, but especially in our open distilleries, you know, it's these big guys, they spend so much money trying to smash everybody out that now they have millions of gallons that they have to fake thefts on just to recoup the insurance losses on, you know, like all of a sudden, we have millions of gallons of extra bourbon we can't get rid of, and then all of a sudden 11,000 gallons or whatever got stolen. It's insanity, man. Just you know,
it's been tough. I mean, that's what pushed us back. We're big. You know, another big event here in town is incarceration. You know, the big metal festival every year. We're fans. You know, we've been out there every year, and we really wanted to be open last year for it. That didn't happen, and we just, you know, next thing you know, it's, you know, here we are at the end of February. Just, you know, there were timelines, and, you know, even with our new products we're releasing, I mean, you know, we've got federal approval, but then the state has their timelines. It's like, okay, you can list it, but now here's the date you're allowed to start selling it. And, you know, you mentioned the big guys. And it's funny, I was talking to another distillery, because we're just starting the process of figuring out how to get into stores. I mean, that's, you know, we've got to get out where people can find us. And, you know, he was commiserating a little bit of his, you know, their experience. I said, it's tough, you know, when you're dealing with these distribution centers, you've got to take all your product to one of the 2 distribution centers. He's like, man, it's hard to get an appointment anymore, because you'll get, you know, one of these big guys, you know, Jack Daniels or Tito's or whoever. And man, they're just taking up, you know, their trucks are so big, they're taking up a day's worth of appointments, you know, to get unloaded. And here we are, you know, rolling in our SUV or something with some cases in the back. And, you know,
hey, come on, man, we're gonna be in and out in 10 minutes, man. Just let me jump the line.
Well, you know,
you only can put it in 5 stores. So how much liquor can you put in 5 stores?
3 stores.
Three now.
They've cut it down to 3 stores, and it's a review period of 90 days.
You got to go buy your own jars.
Yeah,
exactly.
You got to go buy your own jars. Just so
not
that
enough time. It's not
sells.
enough time
No.
to see if our product is going to move in a. I mean, come on, let's face it. 90 days is fast. Okay. Give us
Yeah.
100, give us 180.
Yeah,
Okay.
especially in the retail world, 90 days
Yeah,
is
exactly.
nothing.
Yeah, because we're not Tito's, we're not Jack Daniels, we're not Jim Beam or Wild Turkey. We're not going to get, people aren't coming in looking, right
Tastes
away.
better than all those
We're
things you named.
we don't have
Yeah.
all that advertising dollars to go after people like that, But you think they would give a little bit of deference to the Ohio craft distillers, right?
Yeah.
That they would give us a little bit of leeway, a little bit of room, maybe a little bit of a nudge, ahead of just to try and promote Ohio-made product. Nah, it seems like it's almost the exact opposite.
It's almost like
really
it's a
sad.
fight. Yeah. It's almost like it's a fight. Yeah.
It does. It feels like it's a fight, and it shouldn't. It should be the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if they want us, I'm not saying I want to turn into a Middle West Spirits. Okay, I'm not saying that, but if they want our business to succeed and grow and continue to provide them with tax revenue, then help us.
Yeah. At least
all
give
I
you a
ask.
chance.
I don't think they're not running it like a legit business, man. And
Nah.
and it's a multi-billion-dollar a year industry, and for them to have inconsistencies that they know are there, and we need to work on it. Bro, you're a multi-billion-dollar industry. Come on now.
Right.
Yeah.
So I've seen on some of your videos your setup. Talk a little bit about the water that cools your guys' worm. That's a pretty neat deal.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. The city of Mansfield was founded around a spring that was affectionately called the Big Spring. Back in early 1800s. Over the years, through development, it's been covered over by roads and other development buildings, parking lots. Who else knows? But it was not capped, but it was piped and buried, and it still flows to this day. So that spring water flows through the basement of the building that we are currently in. So we got a hold of a local plumber, and we showed him where the water was running, how fast it was running, and he honestly did a pretty slick job of damming that thing up just enough that we could get a pump down in there into the casing. And we ran, fortunately, our landlord's an electrician, so he ran all the electric for us. And we've got a switch up here, just back here on the wall. And when we need 55 or 58 degree water, whatever it's running that day, to cool the condenser, flip that switch, and out comes through a hose and all the plumbing that from the basement all the way upstairs. And we return that water from the condenser back to the spring. Because we have to. So nothing's wasted, nothing's lost, but that water, and Big Easy saw it. Jason, I don't know if we were running that day or not, but
No.
yeah, so Big Easy saw it, and that thing stays right about 57 or 58 degrees the entire run. Never changes.
Yeah,
And that right there makes a nice consistent flavor as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been good. It saved us from another big expense buying a chiller unit or something like that to keep the condensing worm cool. It was amazing. It's been an awesome piece of history to share with people. Right across the street from us, which is just basically an empty and soon to be parking lot, but that's where back in the early 1900s, man, Mansfield was a massive brewery town. There was a huge, couple of breweries right over there, and in big part because of the spring that was there. Yeah. In fact, the guys at the brewery across the street from us now had looked at our building at one time, because of that spring water, and thinking maybe they could use it. And I think they came to the same conclusion that we did with the regulations we already have to deal with. We don't need the EPA and those guys in here.
I was going to say, it's a shame you can't use that for your.
The original thought would be super cool to use it, use the water, but I think the inconsistency of that, and like I said, the constant testing it would probably have to go on, go through would be prohibitive. But it was amazing. We love that we were able to find a use for it that benefited us and leans into the history of this town, of this area. Kind of name the product after it. We've got the Cold Spring vodka that we do. and kind of playing into that a little bit. And it's been it's been a well received little tidbit, as people come in. It's been pretty cool. So,
well, when I first saw you guys make a video about it, I really caught my attention because I thought, man, think about, as a business end of it, think of the expense that it saved you. You don't have to buy a chiller, all that. And like our buddy Chris Lewis he's got him a little hillbilly chiller set up. He's constantly buying freezers to chill with water. So, that right there, you have no expense other than getting the water and cycling the water where it needs to be. So that had to help a little bit.
That was our first setup, our 10-gallon still. We literally had an igloo cooler sitting next to it, and we were just running back and forth to the freezer with ice chunks, every half hour, just, and obviously, with a 30-gallon still and hopefully bigger, that's not possible. But this thing will, this supply of water will do us very well as we expand. And like you said, saved us a fortune, and it's just a cool story to tell people.
The whole story around it's pretty cool, and it'd be cool to kind of build around, get some displays moving forward. It's going to be cool to see you guys grow, because you guys are in such the starting phase, and you've got such there's so many different things you can do. There's a lot of history in your area, so it'll be cool kind of see how things go from there. You've got kind of, I don't want to say it's empty in there, but you've got like a blank canvas in there. It's a new building. You can do what you want to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Empty is a good way to put it, though. It feels empty at times. So it's a big space. It was way more than what we were looking for initially.
Yeah.
But we honestly couldn't pass up the deal as far as the rent cost, the location, certainly. And then the build out cost was more reasonable than what we thought initially was probably going to be. But it certainly allows us to grow into the future and not have to think about moving. We have
location. I feel like you're set up pretty good. You've got some expansion. Your parking's good. Yeah, you won't have to go anywhere anytime soon, I don't feel like.
Yeah.
Sean, you want to buy a 75-gallon North Georgia?
Hey, Sean's got a badass 75 from North Georgia, man. It was the one Andrew built for his dad. He made it. It's made out of like plate copper on the bottom. Like, dude, it's thick, 32-ounce copper. It's a bad dude, man.
See, that's where the question differentiates between, do we want to buy a 75-gallon still?
Or
can we buy a 75-gallon still right
now you was talking about buying a 60, so you can run 60 in a 75.
Absolutely.
We could. Come buy a bunch of jars on August 1st, and then we'll talk.
Hey, we're trying, okay? I will tell you that it's probably a fraction of the cost of a brand new 60.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
But yeah, dude, it's one Andrew built for his dad, man, on a 32-ounce copper. It's almost like plate steel, man, and it's thick. It's a bad dude.
You have to have
it's got a sealed worm. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, the problem, like I was telling you, Big Easy, I was like, we're going to have to invest in cooking. That's the problem. Moving forward, it's getting hot.
Yeah, big mash tons, and
right.
Yeah.
You have to start mashing it in totes. Just mashing a tote.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
I prefer tote, man. It makes it so much simpler. You're just able to draw from it if you do a bunch of running.
It was pretty cool. I went to a distillery, a little small bourbon distillery, and I think they might make some vodka too down in Ashland, M&O. And I walked in, and he was fermenting in big totes, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Hatfield ferments in outside. Just leave them sit outside, man. Just let them ferment.
Yeah.
That's top right off, and that's outside.
So let's talk about your products. How many different jars do you guys have that people can try and buy at your shop?
Yes, right now we have to come in and taste. We have 4 flavors. We have our signature corn, and then we have our vodka. So right now we've got 6 products. we're kicking around bringing the apple pie back a little sooner. We'll see. We don't want to muddy the waters too much here.
Need that apple pie on the shelf always, man.
Yeah,
Every distillery, it's the staple. It's the
Yeah.
the taboo thing. It's just there should always be a jar of apple pie on the shelf of a distillery.
Yeah, you talked earlier about talk about some of the mistakes we've made. Well, there's one.
You know what was funny about that is, and we've had this conversation with people in there when we set out, we made, because we do 25-gallon batches on the flavors. So we'll get 120 jars or so. We made 2 batches of everything to start out with the exception of the clear, just because it runs a little slower. But
yeah,
we apple pie. I think we had a little mishap on the second batch, so we actually never did it.
Right,
man. I will say it's so funny because Big Easy, to your point, it's a great apple pie, and we kind of knew we needed it because everyone's going to expect it, but we found that kind of hurt it a little bit. It was selling slower than everything else, and I think part of it was because everyone's got an apple pie. Everyone's had an apple pie. Everyone makes their own apple pie.
Yeah,
and
everybody.
When it came down to buying a jar, people were gravitating towards the stuff that they hadn't seen anywhere else. Our butterscotch, we're about to bottle our 4th batch of that. And we haven't even thought about a third on anything else. I mean, it's 2-to-1 best, selling better than anything else. It's been funny to see that. But yeah, well, I mean, it needs to be in the lineup. We maybe, I don't know if we should have hit the pause button or not. We'll probably bring it back a little bit sooner. But it was funny to see it selling behind all the other flavors.
Yeah.
And it's also a seasonal thing, seasonal fall, pumpkin spice, basic. It's seasonal. It's one of those things, man. And I'm sure, like, the longer you stay, you'll go through stretches where you're like, man, we just sold a bunch of peach this month and very little of this, and like right now you're selling that butterscotch because you don't see that in other places right now. So it's real big. People are into it, and so things it come in waves, man. I noticed it when we build products. It's like, man, I built 30 of these this week, and I hadn't built any of them in a month.
Yeah, we're seeing. I mean, even right now, we're seeing things like the peach, the peach and the blackberry. Some of those fruit flavors are starting to move a little quicker. Because it's it's summertime, and people either they're either drinking them straight or they're putting them in tea or lemonade or. It's nice summertime.
I'm going to get out. I don't know if you guys have ever tried making a margarita with your corn liquor, but margaritas with corn liquor are fucking amazing. I mean, tequila's all fine and dandy, but man, I've been making my margaritas with corn liquor for about the last 3 or 4, probably about the last 3 years now. It's a corn liquor it holds up in a lot of drinks that you use tequila or a rum or a vodka, and I like it better. I don't, most of the drinks I make that I used to use all that other shit, I'm using corn liquor now, and I feel like it's something that more people need to realize that you can put it in those drinks and it does just fine. Yes. So I think if people realize that we might be selling more corn liquor if people tried it in a margarita or a daiquiri, or you know what I mean? Like, put it in any drink you put something clear in and give it a try.
Yeah.
Well, that's where we've been, and I know before we went live, we kind of touched on it, but that's where we've been thankful for some of the restaurant partners around us and their creativity, because we knew, in fact, one of the reasons we even have a vodka is, we figured that was going to be our easy, quick entry into some local wholesale places, and it turns out as those places come in for tastings, they're gravitating towards the shine, and we've had a handful of restaurants get really creative with some really good cocktails based around the flavors. And the one that cracked me up, because you mentioned the corn liquor, just to our just to the corner of us, it's a winery and a restaurant, and I would consider it their upstairs restaurant, slightly on the upscale side. Right. And man, they went right for that straight corn. and they put a cocktail together, this beautiful layered cocktail with some lemonade, their blueberry wine, and just straight corn.
Oh, nice.
And man, they've had people asking for it. They've come back to buy more, and it's been cool to see some of the local restaurants really gravitate towards trying to get creative with something that wasn't typically sitting on the back bar.
Yeah. And it would be, it's cool because they're buying local. They've got a local product on their shelf, and it's just kind of a cool thing. And I wish it was something that more places would do now that the corn liquor is starting to hit the shelves. These bars and restaurants, they do need to take advantage of the drink, because it makes a really good mixed drink as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm excited about, our rye coming out.
Yes.
I think that rye is going to change the game with some of the mixed cocktails locally here. We may or may not have heard from a family member of Scott's that that rye makes a fantastic Manhattan.
It probably makes a good Bloody Mary too.
Yeah, for sure. So it's we're like I said, we're really excited about that, and I think the other flavors are going to be equally as exciting. So yeah, it's going to be good stuff.
Well, I've seen the colored jars on the internet, and I've seen all the guesses. And hearing you say nobody's guessed the blue label yet, and I've seen a lot of the guesses, so now I'm really intrigued as to know what that blue flavor is going to be. Because if nobody guessed it, and they've thrown out about every flavoring that's blue, and it's not been it. So you know what I mean? So
I'll just say that not enough people are paying attention to the flag in the background.
Oh shit! Okay,
we got a hint.
And I'll also say that we really were, back to the unfortunateness of the state of Ohio, but we were really pushing to have it out by July 4th.
Yeah.
So
let's talk about something that I've noticed from the moment I walked in.
So rocket pop.
Every one of your jars is clear.
Cannot confirm or deny.
Way to go, Big Easy. Every one of your jars is clear.
Correct.
Yes.
That is by design.
And I think that is a wonderful thing you guys are doing.
Yes.
Because
Except apple pie.
times
Except the apple pie.
Right.
Yeah.
But it comes
But
by
you don't-
naturally.
You don't want that clear. You want it
No,
to be.
you don't. No.
And that was one thing we discussed about was the clarity of it, and he told me the trick for it, it makes sense. So
Yeah. We chose early on that we weren't necessarily big fans of alien green or
Muddy.
weird purples or
muddy
yeah,
liquor,
just a,
chewing ass shit.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, there's a certain number of people that are allergic to food dyes and stuff like that, and although they serve a purpose to make things look pretty, at the end of the day, it really wasn't going to help our product. We wanted it to be clear, stay clear, and so we chose not to use any products that had food dyes in it. So if our product has any color to it, it will be from natural sources. Period. End of story. Point blank. That will not change.
I got mad respect for that, man. And the
Yeah.
fact that you're putting good flavored jars, and the idea that moonshine's clear.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So you're
Yep.
putting clear shine out, and that's
Yes.
How many jars do you pick up and it says artificial color and flavoring added?
Correct.
And it's like it's a chemical drink. It's a chemical drink now that your developers didn't put any heart into this because it was just like flavor. Here you go.
And it's a trick that even the whiskey industry is using. They're putting caramel coloring in there.
Always, yeah.
Why?
Yeah,
I mean,
why
if
do you
the product
think?
isn't good enough to be in a jar, a clear jar to show what it is? Then you're hiding something. What are you hiding?
They want that consistency to make every bottle of Jack Daniels look the same.
Correct.
They color it the exact same. That way, they all look the same on the shelf.
Yep.
Because
So like you mentioned, the apple pie is the only one that has any color to it, and that is only from brown sugar. That's the only reason it has any color to it.
And you see apple pie, it's brown. It looks like apple juice. That's what you want,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm a clarity guy. Like, even if I'm making flavors, when I'm done, I'm like, can I still see through this? I don't want no floaters. Like I macerate fresh fruit and I strain and strain and strain.
Yeah.
I just don't want nothing floating, man. Like a good jar of liquor should be clear.
Right.
And it should be clear,
And so, like I told you, Big Easy, and when you were here, so our flavored products, they are sweetened, and we do use a distiller's grade cane sugar. Okay, and it's
quality.
It's basically run through an ultrafiltration process. It's not chemically treated; just run through ultrafiltration to remove all those impurities. So that jar should remain clear for.
Is it a liquid sugar? Is it a liquid sugar?
A liquid sugar.
Okay, nice.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, we buy it as liquid sugar. So like you said, I've seen many jars over the years that have been cloudy in the establishment, or you get them home after a bit and they cloud up. I just didn't want that. I was looking for something that stayed clear, and started clear, stayed clear, and it should. And it's a great product. It's expensive as heck, but it's a great product.
Quality in, quality out, man.
Yeah.
If I've got to put a couple extra dollars in to make my jar that much better, well then Uncle Joey's not going to mind paying a few extra dollars for it, because he knows, like, hey man, if I want fucking Jim Beam, I can go down to the gas station to get Jim Beam.
Right.
If I want Old Smoky, I can go to the gas station to get Old Smoky 20 proof.
That's it. Yeah. There you go.
I don't want that. I want quality, and
right. And that's what we strive for. I mean, from the grains to the water we're using, to the sweeteners that we're using, the flavorings that we're using. We spent a lot of time trying to find the right flavor profiles, the right products. And it was not easy. I mean, I bet you it took us, I would say, well, it was over a year in testing many different products before we settled on a lot of things. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, I hope you guys continue to pumping out these good flavors, man. And now that Big Easy, man, you had so many guesses on Facebook, and in a matter of a 57-minute podcast, we unraveled the flavor.
What do I win? I
admiration.
Hey, I'm respectable. I can't ask for much more than that. That warms my heart more than anything.
Well, how about we'll set aside the first jars and we'll sign it for you.
All right,
there you go,
my man.
Nice.
Well, I know I'm looking forward to coming up. I'm glad that me and Sean made the trip. It was supposed to be a family trip. I wanted to take the boys with us, but everybody's got families, and all of our time doesn't always jive together. So me and Sean were able to go up, and I was glad that Big Easy was able to go up. Matt,
I'll be there August 1st.
Matt's not allowed to leave on the weekends. He's got this honey to-do list.
Yeah,
that is longer than my wingspan, which is about 8 feet.
That I do.
And he ain't never allowed to come out and play on the weekend.
Then after that, there's my do list.
He talks a big game during the week, though. But when the weekend comes, man, Shelly just takes those balls and tosses them in her purse, and he ain't allowed to come out and play. So,
but I am fortunate that me and Sean got to come up and hang out and meet you guys, and the Big Easy was able to.
Yeah.
You guys got a cool place up there. It's cool to see you guys from the beginning, and I'm kind of excited to see where you guys grow from there, man. I really do.
We're coming back August 1st, man. We're rolling. We're rolling for your release, man. We'll bring the families, and we have a good time, man. And we'll all have a little something for y'all to try on, some flavors and things like that. And
I promise you, anybody that's within a little bit of an area, Shiner wise, we will get them there.
Yeah, we'll get them there. They're gonna come hang out, man. You guys get to meet a lot of local people and that we know, and just and that's what it's all about, man. Like you guys are. You guys are Ohioans, man. You're part of our crew. You're one of us.
You'll find out that you are part of a family. You really are.
It's a solid family too. We're all look out for each other, and we want each other to win. And so anything you guys need, reach out. you got questions, you get stuck, you got distilling questions, man, don't ever hesitate to reach out. And
Appreciate
you know, and don't be surprised if you don't start getting messages of bouncing ideas, man, because I love talk ideas. Dude, I just
Absolutely.
you know, me and my buddy Wes, it's just like, what about this? What about that? I go with Sean and all them. What about this? What about that? And a lot of it's just what ifs, man. But you never know what it's going to lead to, and that's it's the think tanks.
It's all experimentation too. It's all it's little science projects, man. Little science projects.
That's exactly what it is.
That's
Yep.
right.
That's half. Yeah, it's a lot of discussion. What can we do next? And
Yeah,
he said we found it. And I learned this back when I was living in Columbus too. I knew the owner of one of the breweries down there, and he'd put these events together that would be little brewery trails and stuff. And man, I really realized in general, like a collaborative industry, the alcohol business was, where you really can benefit from, working together and getting to know people and doing things together. And, we found that with the distilling community. I mean, there's a handful of distilleries that are just fantastic friends of ours, that we've met and we've been able to reach out, like you said, just about any time, whether, if we've got a question on something that we're not sure about, sometimes I'll call them before I call the state. Like, hey man, how do you do this? And
you're more likely to get the right answer, and that's what's terrible, man.
Yeah, and everyone's so willing to, help, and I appreciate you guys and meeting you and what we're gonna do in the future. So
we're all here together, man. So we want y'all to succeed and want y'all to grow, and so before we ride out of here, talk about the winery. You guys have a winery and a brewery right next to your location, correct?
Yep.
And I know you guys had touched on that before, but not on here. And I think that's really cool that you guys opened up here, and now you got your foot in this winery up here and the brewery across the street. So, I mean, super cool to go down there. Like most wives don't like moonshine, but they like wine at the top. You know what I'm saying? So, it's definitely something that you could pitch a little bit more. Like my wife hates going to the distillery, hates going with me, but if I'm like, like a winery at the top of that hill, she's like, well, you know what, we can do that. So remember that wine for the old lady.
We'd love to change the wives' minds. Anybody, well, I don't know, I've never really liked moonshine, I've never had it. Come try it. We'll change your mind. That's what
not mine.
How many times have we said that? We'll change your mind.
Not mine. I've been there. I've tried. We've tried there. Like new people, yes. Oh, there's nothing I love better than you get a lady come in. I don't like moonshine because they tried to Everclear somebody had, and you're like, oh, try. You guys are like, try this butterscotch, and like I saw the ladies that were there, like, oh yeah, yes, I like this. I like that. You change your mind, like. We'll be out at places. We was down. We was at a bar, and this lady's like, "I don't like moonshine." I'm like, "Oh yeah, try this blueberry lemonade moonshine." And she tried it, looked at her husband, and was like, "We need this." Yep. And it's like, "Well, that's my jar. Give it back, lady. This is just for spare, not for selling."
But like you said, man, we like being here. Downtown Mansfield is. And Mansfield has a lot of history, and they're doing a lot to bring it back. And you come downtown, I said there's a amazing brewery across the street. They've got a bourbon bar upstairs. In addition to that, the winery has, they've got their fine dining upstairs. They've got a more casual, wine bar downstairs. Lots to do for people. A couple great other little restaurants and cocktail bars, and coffee shops and whatnot through downtown. So yeah, come on down.
That's night away, man. He just described a perfect night away,
Yeah.
Meandering around the town, have a little dinner and have a little drink, So.
I'll tell you, so early on when we were discussing the business proposition, we looked at what was the population within 75 miles of Mansfield, and it was like 60% of the state.
Yeah, Columbus, and Columbus is huge. Yeah, right there in the middle, man, was most of the state, because once you get out of there, it's all cornfields and then Appalachian Hills.
Yeah, so literally at least 50% of the population in the state of Ohio is within about an hour's drive of Mansfield. So, no excuses, people.
No, not at all.
Hey, check it out, man. If you're out that way, definitely go check them out, man. They're good dudes.
I will say, driving past, it's easy to drive past because you really don't know it's there.
Correct.
And so like I don't know if you guys big inflatable waving man or
yeah.
We gotta get a big gorilla or something on top of the roof.
Just let people know where you're at. Like I drove past it and I went down and turned around. So I was like, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
And,
we've talked about, we're definitely we're talking about putting some more signs up on the building to, than what we've got now, because it is on a. We've had people come in that have lived in Mansfield for 50 years and they said, I don't know that I've ever actually driven on this street that you guys are on. I mean, it's one street over from one of the main drags, but it sits just enough off a hill that it is easy to miss if you don't know we're there. But we got some things, and we can't do it yet, but we may or may not have gotten a quote on a giant inflatable moonshine jar.
Nice. Hey, doesn't hurt to ask. Doesn't hurt to ask. How you doing in the UK, Mr. Cunningham?
Man, I was about to say, let's give a shout out from somebody across the pond. What's up?
Thanks for tuning in, Brett. We appreciate you, brother.
Hell yeah.
We reach all corners of the earth around here, Spread the word of the shine.
Got to get some Ohio shine out to the UK.
Yeah.
Hey, Mansfield's got a sister city in the UK, so
I know, right? We should open up our second location in Mansfield, England.
Hey, it would be cool to take a trip there and take some all your merch and
I'm
take
good.
some shine. Yeah.
Send me pictures. I ain't flying nowhere. We'll be all right. You send me pictures, man. I'll get as close as like Massachusetts or whatever, You can wave at me, but all right. So before we get way off the rails, we appreciate you guys for coming on and hanging out with us. Like I said, if we're going to come, we'll go on ahead and Uncle Joey pencil them in for the Monday before the August birthday deal.
Okay.
And we could come on and talk about, hey, this, and that. And if something happens and like it doesn't come to fruition, then, it'd be all right. We'll just let everybody know. And whenever you can make it happen, we'll do it then. So, but as of right now, the plan is August 1st at Ohio Shine Co. in Mansfield, Ohio on that Saturday night.
Three flavors.
Three flavors and 52 years old.
That's right. Hey, you still not the oldest in the group, baby?
Youngin.
And I'll be curious if any of your Ohio Shine Co. followers are watching tonight and they got the big jar reveal of what the blue jar is.
We'll see.
Hey, they didn't confirm or deny that, okay? There's no confirm or deny.
Hey, is it 52?
No, it's 51.
51. Man,
You know what? This has been such a process. It's aged me one more year.
Age yourself a whole year.
I was gonna say, I'm only 6 weeks behind you, and I'm only going to be 51.
I've never heard anybody age. They're usually like, oh, I'm 25, 37. It's like, you know what?
I feel like I'm 57. So
That's me.
Right.
I got the back of an 87-year-old. I feel it.
That's Matt.
Yep.
No, Matt is 87. You got it wrong.
For another month.
That's right.
It'll be 88.
That's right.
Well,
Double
Jeff
X-ray.
and Scott, man, we appreciate you giving us your Monday night, dude. We really do. We really do.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you for having
Appreciate you
us on,
having
sir.
us. It was a blast.
Sir, and we will see y'all August 1st for the release party, man. It's going to be a great time. So we'll see y'all there. If you guys want to shoot the shit a little bit, you don't have to head out. But
Yeah, you don't have to jump off
so.
if you don't want to.
Y'all have a great night. We're back next week with, was it M&O Spirits or something like that?
No.
See, I don't even know who it is. I just made some shit up.
No. So I'm pretty excited about next week, man. We are we kind of partnered up with a benefit, a group up here.
Okay.
Next Monday night, we're going to have Tater and Chris Luke from the 10-man benefit, and we're going to talk all about their benefit and their organization and everything they're doing, man. They're doing great shit.
Yeah. So next week we'll have on, I already forgot his name, Uncle Joey said.
Tater and Chris
No,
Luke.
not Tater. I didn't forget Tater. So we'll have
Yeah,
on
you
Tater.
Yeah, you did.
We'll have on Tater from Moonshiners. And then we'll have on the dude that runs. Like, I'm terrible, dude. Like, it runs 10-man. But anyways, the Tin Man run's all about do a poker run, they auction off things, and it's collecting money to help a child get a heart. And that's how the gentleman started it. He was fortunate enough to receive a heart transplant, saved his life. So he put together this thing he does every year, and it's all about just making money and donating every dime that they make from the poker run. And bikers come in and travel all around the area and do a poker run. And there was auctioning off items. We're all donating things to auction off. They auction off anything you donate, man. It's crazy. So I got a jug. I took it all around the country, had moonshiners sign it. It's definitely a great event. Unfortunately, Farm to Bottle fell on the same day. Some of us are going to try to make both. Some of us can't make both.
Hey, you know what?
We blame Dan for that.
I will grab it. I want to put a jar. So I've got a basket that Still Talking's putting together a couple different things for this raffle that they have, or it's an auction. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm going to put together a basket, and in my basket, I want products from as many Ohio wineries, distilleries, whatever I can. So when I'm up there in August, I'll grab a couple of jars to put in this basket. So I'll have you guys in this basket that I'm doing for this benefit.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Super awesome. So, but yeah, and we hope to see you guys at Farm to Bottle, maybe. Even if if you can't come set up, if that doesn't happen, at least come down on Friday or Saturday and hang out with all of us. Pass some jars around in the campground and just meet your Ohio brethren, man, because we're all brethren here. So,
we'll talk when we get all about. You guys at least need to have your products at Farm to Bottle. With trying to get your jars on the shelf, this would give you guys some good exposure in the southern part of Ohio. So even if you can't make it, I feel like you guys should really have your products at Farm to Bottle.
Yeah, so I believe they buy products. If you can't make it, they'll buy your products and feature them there. They did that with Chris Lewis last year because he wasn't able to make it. So even if you can't make it or able to sell your liquor there, they will buy your product and taste it out, let people try it.
Yeah,
they'll buy your product for tastings. If they sell anything, they'll buy the whole jar. So with your having flavors, you'll sell at least a handful of your jars going through the tasting process.
Right
so
on.
It's something you definitely need to get your products there.
Yeah, and it's a great time, man. It's a blast. It's a blast. So. All right, well, y'all have a good night, man, and we'll start talking about something else. We'll be here all night. So see y'all next week. We'll have on the Tin Man fellers later.
Yep.
Already forgot.